So here's one thing that I think is wrong with Chris's car, and that's every time you turn it on, he's got so many beeps and boops going on. From the car, from the Bluetooth to the Valentine and the...
Your door's open. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Hands On Automotive. Today we're going to talk about all the things wrong with my old girl, the E46 M3. I hate is how these age just so ugly. That wouldn't happen if it was glass. These grills are a pain in the ass to put in. When the clips break, you gotta get a new one. That's like grill number 2 or 3, I think. I hate the fact that these don't power fold in on the 2001s because they have it in them too. They just aren't set up for it till like 03. The rubber that seals these rear windows dries out so fast. The paint on the tracks, it dulls out way faster than the rest of the paint on the car. These wheels are technically painted, and with 16 years of age on them, they've chipped to death. See, there is some road rash. There's some road rash right there. I'm not a perfect driver, but outside of that, this is just chipped paint. A cool quirk. The door handles look like they're pool door handles, but they actually have a hinge. If you notice, it comes upwards, like the flat kinds. But it looks as if you're gonna pull it. And a lot of times people go and they pull on the door, and it's hard, like this, like to pop. And so they feel like your door's stuck, something's wrong with the door. And it's really that they're just not using it right, because it opens up just fine if you grab it like a hinge. That's about it for the outside. But as far as inside goes, one thing that's the opposite of a complaint is how well this headliner has held up for a 16-year-old car in a very hot part of the state. The only parts that have really started to peel were the edges of the sunroof. Fabric started to sag a little bit, and the B-pillars. These things are just completely just the worst part of my headliner. Nothing ever goes into the back seat, so you can probably tell that that's like untouched. I did redo the steering wheel, so I did the perforated leather on the sides, but I still kept the tricolor stitching. The speakers suck in this car, so did have those replaced as well. The paint actually holds up pretty well for this keyhole and a 16-year-old vent. It's a little sad. That's what happens when people don't know how to touch things though, and they touch them too hard with their bear claws. So a lot of times when people go to close your door when the window's closed, they'll grab it or touch it here to close it, or they'll grab it here and they'll try to close it, and it just hurts me when they do that. I don't understand why they couldn't aim for somewhere near the door handle. The car runs mechanically sound, like really, really well. Has 179,000 miles on it. Drives the same way. I've gotten the driven one with 60,000 miles, and it drives exactly like that. It's very tight. There's a little bit of vibration in the plastic, from the windows and the doors. The window regulators. Those rattle a little bit in the cold mornings. But outside of that, it's a really tight car that doesn't make a sound, really strong. It's not without its faults. It does have a tricky reverse gear. And I don't know too many people that have that problem, but there are some.
Would you ever sell this car?
No. I don't think I could sell this car.
Why not?
It's really awesome. And it's the first car that I bought that I really loved the car. It was a fun car. It is a fun car. You're excited to get into it and drive. You don't mind. You don't mind any of the flaws or any of the setbacks, like having a manual transmission with a heavy clutch and heavy traffic, It's pretty much all that's wrong with the car, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch us next time on Hands On Automotive.